What's going on today, my Gorilla Recovery family? Today I'm gonna do a reaction video on some of the wildest police chases and how they got away and how some of them got caught. And at home, I wouldn't suggest none of you kids try this. So I'm not saying let's go out and try to run from the police, so please do not try this. It is dangerous, it's illegal, it's against the law. So please, once again, do not go out and try this. Here we go.
Beyond cocky, one even popped a wheelie right in the cruiser's face. Figuring 4 wheels would be a much easier takedown than 2, the trooper locked onto one of the ATVs.
And he is actually right. A 4-wheeler is the easiest one to chase. It doesn't turn, doesn't handle, can't get through spaces that, a normal dirt bike can. But with the right ride on it, he will have a difficult time trying to catch him.
And hit the lights. Huge mistake. He didn't know it yet, but he just challenged the absolute best rider of the bunch.
Coming up the Broadway, you know where he's going. He's going to the red line. Southbound Broadway from 17.
While other ASP units were busy sweeping up the rest of the pack, this solo rider was breaking our troopers' mentality. ATVs are built to vanish off-road, but this guy wanted to embarrass the trooper right on his own turf. He kept the quad glued to the highway and somehow pushed it to a mind-bending 110 miles per hour. Seeing a 4-wheeler handled with that kind of precision on the pavement is just wild. Judging by those flawless, evasive maneuvers, this definitely wasn't his first high-speed pursuit.
Now, if you see the way he is leaning when he's going around the corner to the left, that's what I was saying about he picked the easiest one, because dirt bikes, motorcycles, you don't have to lean like that. You just, lean and the whole bike goes. With a 4-wheeler, you got to kind of lean and it sways. And at one point in the video, if he gets on the corner, it's too tight, you actually notice the back end will start kicking out.
Apparently bored of the cat and mouse game, the rider abruptly ripped off the pavement and took the chase into his element. He launched the ATV through a maze.
See, once he got tired, he knew where to take that four-wheeler at to get rid of him and just go on and say, I'm going home, before they put a helicopter up in the air. Because if they get a helicopter up in the air, he pretty much caught.
Of residential backyards, weaving tight between fences until he vanished into thin air. Even though he wasn't wearing a helmet, getting a solid facial ID off a shaky high-speed dash cam is almost impossible. Coupled with the fact that the quad carried no license plate, the investigation hit a total dead end, and the driver was never found. On February 13, 2024, a Florida trooper got behind a motorcycle with no license plate and a rider who was clearly ready to push his machine to the absolute limit. As he kicked it into gear and tore into the traffic on US Highway 19, he had no idea.
I ride motorcycles, and I'd be lying if I say I've never ran from police before. But it is very dangerous. You know, and you have to be a great rider, because you have to not be able to panic. You have to see things before it happens, you know. But on top of that, you know, follow the road rules. You know, slow down. You still accelerate a lot faster than anything out there. But that's where a lot of people don't, because they panic, they do dumb stuff, and they hurt themselves bad. So that's why I say, please don't do this.
This would be his last ride.
Now, with that kind of lead on the police car and the way motorcycles accelerate, he can slow down and ride like he got some sense, and probably still will never get caught. But unfortunately, most people don't, and they just keep pushing it. And it always ends bad. Always ends bad.
Also contact
The countdown ended at the intersection of Drew Street when the rider blew through a red light, and that's when car slammed into the motorcycle from the side. The force of the T-bone collision was so violent that it took the rider's helmet off.
Just like I said, it always ends bad. Instead of slowing down and checking the intersection, he didn't, and he got hit by oncoming car from the opposite direction. I don't wish this on nobody. Like I said, I'm a motorcycle rider. So my condolences go out to his family, whoever this guy is. And this is why I said, please don't do this. It always ends bad.
almost instantly. I don't know how, but Justin Charles Hunter Stefke survived the impact, though he was sidelined in the hospital for several months, recovering from the violence of the wreck. Once he was finally cleared by doctors, Justin Charles Hunter Stefke was booked into the county jail to face felony fleeing and eluding charges for a triple-digit ego trip that nearly ended his life. Just before midnight on August 22, 2024, a Clayton County deputy was sitting stationary on Riverdale Road when a motorcycle shattered the silence. The bike was flying, traveling at a high rate of speed with a roar that could be heard blocks away. The rider, later identified as Antonio Higgins.
Now, this is plain stupid. I ride a Harley, and I also have a Jigsaw 1000. And this guy's look like he's on some type of Harley. It's definitely a cruiser, but they are called cruisers for a reason. They do not have the power, the speed, or the capability to handle like street bikes do. So it's definitely not something you want to try to run from the police on. Like, you're not going to get away. Unless they just give up because they don't want you to hurt yourself, you're not getting away because they're not fast. They're made for cruising.
Weaving through traffic without a single turn signal. The deputy had to floor it, hitting 80 miles per hour just to catch up. But as soon as the blue lights flashed, Higgins pinned the throttle and the chase was on.
There ain't no traffic, we just crossed over I-85, traffic GO.
Now, you see what I'm talking about? Had that been a street bike, for one, the officer would have never been able to get next to it. He wouldn't have had the power or the speed. But cruisers are not meant to go fast like that, so it's not gonna outrun that police car. And then he must be drunk or high or something because he's playing Russian roulette with his life. He didn't even slow down when he went through that red light. I'm gonna say this through the whole video. Please, don't do this at home.
Alright, going through the red light, and we'll have to move on the vertical road. Turn right on the vertical road. There's a stop sign at Lakeshore, for 60.
Danger levels spiked as the bike topped 90 miles per hour, blowing through red lights and dodging oncoming traffic on the wrong side of the road. Despite being drunk and high at the same time, his riding skills were on a completely different level.
About 13 right now, bouncing a bit.
The deputies successfully boxed him in, dropping his speed to a crawl. But instead of giving up, Antonio Higgins tried a desperate squeeze between the two moving cruisers. He completely miscalculated.
Yeah, dummy deserves everything he gets. Trying to outrun the police on a chopper. Like, come on, you're on a cruiser, bro. You be lucky if that thing can do 120 miles per hour. Ain't gonna outrun them police cars.
and the Cobra units almost made a sandwich out of that chopper. His right handlebar smashed into the hood, sending the bike crashing to the pavement.
We got him. Stand by. That was stupid. Real stupid. Oh, shit,
Once cuffed, officers pulled a brand new bottle of dark liquor right out of his jacket. Antonio Higgins was booked for felony fleeing, DUI, and riding without a license. Under Georgia law, felony fleeing combined with a DUI means he is realistically facing 1 to 3 years behind bars. On July 20th, 2023, a trooper was watching traffic on Highway 167 when the scream of a high-revving engine gave away a sport bike weaving through the lanes. The rider was pinning the throttle the second he found a gap in the semi-trucks, hitting triple digits in a 65 zone. Even with a female passenger on the back, the driver didn't hesitate to blow a red light in Sherwood. And
being a motorcycle rider, this is something else I absolutely hate. Doing something stupid, a wheelie, speeding, trying to outrun police, weaving in and out of traffic, when you have someone on the back of the motorcycle with you. If you want to go kill yourself, go kill yourself. But don't endanger anyone else's by putting someone on the back of the bike and then trying to go out and do something stupid. I hate that.
dive into a high-speed turn, getaway over the life of the person sitting right behind him.
Even if it didn't have that hump in the road that make the bike go airborne, at them speeds, for him to get around that corner without running off the road, he would have had to have that bike so low his right knee was scraping the ground going around the corner. And by looking at him ride, he didn't have them riding skills to do that. So either way, he was gonna crash right there. And that's what I say, they panic. Some people are not meant to do that. You have to be a professional rider, because coming up on that corner, he should have downshifted, slowed down, and went around the corner and then reaccelerated. They get nervous because they're running. But like I said, he had a passenger on the back, and he could have killed that girl. Like, come on, bro.
Hit a transition on Landers Road so fast that the motorcycle went completely airborne before slamming into a dense tree line. The impact launched both Rory Smith and his passenger Samantha Sanders into the brush, leaving the bike with $8,000 in damage and both occupants headed for the hospital.
So I'll get you water. Thank God. Get out. Get in. You all right? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, thank you. Just keep back. You can lay down. You can lay down. Just scoot back. A search of the scene uncovered a pink bag stuffed with methamphetamine and glass pipes. Now Rory Smith is facing a long list of charges including DWI, felony fleeing, and aggravated assault, while Samantha Sanders was hit with multiple counts of drug possession. At 10:19 p.m., a trooper was staged on SH-38 when a Honda CBR 1000 came screaming up from the rear. The rider pulled a cocky U-turn right behind the cruiser and pinned the throttle, immediately hitting 110 miles per hour while flying the wrong way into oncoming traffic. The trooper knew right away that if he let this 1,000 cubic centimeter rocket get any more distance, he wouldn't stand a chance of catching it once the road opened up. As the gap closed, Jeremy Jackson tried to play a mind game, waving his hand as if he were pulling over while he kept right on rolling. Recognizing the fake stop for what it was, the trooper didn't give the bike a second chance to vanish. He used his push bumper to deliver a decisive TVI, ending the chase before the bike could hit terminal velocity.
No, you are pulling over. Shut your mouth. Listen to me. You had plenty of time to stop. I knew exactly what you're going to do when you flip that bike around in front of traffic. And then you go the wrong freaking way. You had plenty of opportunity to stop. You see my freaking lights. You heard my siren. That's why you accelerated through that damn intersection and then got on the wrong side of the road.
Biker Jeremy Jackson later admitted he only ran because he didn't want his bike to get towed. But now he's staring down 2 years in state prison for felony fleeing and reckless driving. Trooper Ethan Sanders was out on Highway 167 when he spotted a black motorcycle with a set of expired tags. This should have been a routine traffic stop, but the rider wasn't about to pull over for a simple registration ticket.
Why he doesn't just pull over for, expired tags, I don't understand. But besides that, I'm impressed by the way bro's still riding in the dirt and the grass. I was sure he had wrecked when they first pushed him off the road, but he's still getting it.
As fast as they can. Okay, all y'all don't move. Slow down. Stay on I believe you're doing good right now, Sheriff. I got B-42 behind me. B-42 going in past me. Radio Tower Road, you cut off. Dispatch, we dispatch, Radio Tower Road. 40 near airport, I'm behind the bike. 43 trying to block it. Okay, whoever's going, go.
Why he doesn't just pull over for, expired tags, I don't understand. But besides that, I'm impressed by the way bro's still riding in the dirt and the grass. I was sure he had wrecked when they first pushed him off the road, but he's still getting it.
We're not going to leave the county uncovered.
The risk factor here was pure madness. The rider was pushing lethal speeds wearing nothing but basic street clothes and a helmet. Running from the law dressed like that is straight up suicidal. At these speeds, you don't realize how quickly a tiny patch of gravel or a bad wobble can turn you into a high-speed organ donor.
42, correct. are you coming back to the county? 101, we've been advised to terminate. Okay. 25, how close are you to the bike? B43 is still off with it. I'm trying to get back up with him, sir. So you mentioned you're back on the road with that one Concord coming. Do you have a tag on it? It doesn't have a tag, sir. If you're in Cleveland County, cancel, because that school's fixing to be getting out. It's not worth it. 343, 1022.
He wrecked out.
Okay, you just wrecked out. We're going to be here in Cooper.
The city of Concord coming up and school letting out, the trooper knew he had to end the danger before an innocent kid got caught in the crossfire. He pulled in front of the bike and stood on the brakes, forcing a 50 miles per hour collision that sent the motorcycle flying.
Now, I have a question for y'all, and I ride motorcycles, like I said. I also live in Baltimore, Maryland, where we have a no chase law. They can't chase motorcycles and dirt bikes. But do you think that it should be against the law for them to run motorcycles over like that? Because, they could kill him. I understand he's doing something stupid and dumb, but if you just stop chasing him, he'll slow down and go on about his business. You can get him later. Or do you think they should be allowed to, pulpit maneuvers on motorcycles? Leave me a comment in the comment section. I'd like to know what everyone thinks.
The rider, Blake McDaniel, actually scrambled up and tried to leg it, but he didn't even make it 50 yards before he was tackled and cuffed. Now hit with a mountain of charges, including felony fleeing and reckless driving, Blake McDaniel is realistically staring down 2 to 5 years in state prison. On the night of July 25th, 2025, Corporal Darrell Hinton spotted a black
Bro. I know he's not about to trying to outrun the police on the moped. He got to be about the dumbest mother in the world.
moped with a broken taillight and tried to guide the rider into a parking lot for a chat. The rider, Eddie Williams, initially looked like he was going to cooperate, but the second he reached the back of the lot, he pulled a U-turn and went full throttle.
That's his best bet. He has a better chance of getting away on foot than he do on that moped.
After watching the suspect struggle to outrun a patrol cruiser at playground speeds, the trooper finally had seen enough of the slow-motion drama. He chose his moment and delivered a pit maneuver at a whopping 22 miles per hour, ending the moped's suffering and sending Williams into the grass. The suspect scrambled up and took off into an open field, and honestly, it was the fastest he moved all night. Judging by the 200-yard dash that followed, Eddie Williams was actually significantly faster on foot than he was on his own wheels. Once he was tackled, a search revealed the real reason for the hustle: 7 grams of crystal meth tucked in his pocket. Eddie Williams then tried to claim he couldn't breathe to dodge a jail cell, but after paramedics cleared him, he was hauled straight to the detention center. Now facing felony drug possession and fleeing charges, he is realistically looking at 3 to 10 years in prison. On June 1st, 2025, a Jonesboro officer tried stopping a motorcycle near Nettleton Circle after the rider blew a stop sign with no tags. Behind the handlebars was 28-year-old Thomas Haney with his pregnant girlfriend, 20-year-old Willow Searcy, riding on the back. The officer decided to back off, not wanting to chase a reckless rider carrying a pregnant passenger.
I got a motorcycle fleeing from me. Oh goodness.
I've terminated. I'm not pursuing. He's headed east on Nettleton. It's a black bike with white graphics with a two people on it, a male and a female. Female had a backpack on. Stupid motherfucker! Stupid people!
Yo, I'm glad that officer terminated the chase, because you could see the way he went through traffic and stuff that he didn't know what he was doing on that motorcycle. And to have your pregnant girlfriend on the back and doing that, man, it's ridiculous, yo. I'm gonna say it again. Please don't try this at home. Don't do this.
Even with no one chasing him anymore, Haney kept accelerating, hitting 110 miles per hour on busy city streets as Willow held on. At Flint Street, he blew through another red light, and a Chrysler crossing the intersection appeared at the exact wrong moment.
Yeah, 10-4 dispatch. Get me ambulance out here. It's bad, real bad.
And that's why I say don't do this at home, because the officer wasn't even chasing him no more. He was too dumb to realize it. Wasn't skilled enough to be on the bike riding anyway, but you're let alone trying that with his pregnant girlfriend on the bike. And now look, it's tragic for both of them. That's a shame.
He has a pulse now. He has a pulse.
Yeah, he's still breathing.
He has a pulse.
The dispatch both subjects are barely breathing. It does not look good.
Hey, I think she might have just stopped breathing. She was gasped.
Are you okay?
The motorcycle slammed into the rear driver's side of the Chrysler at extreme speed, throwing Thomas Haney and Willow Searcy through the air. The scene was chaotic. Haney was killed instantly, while Willow, pregnant with their child, was still breathing when officers arrived. Moments later, her breathing stopped. Both she and the unborn baby died at the scene.
He wanted to be dumb. Now him and his girlfriend and their unborn child are all deceased. Come on, man. That wasn't worth it. That wasn't worth it. You know, motorcycles are meant to have fun on. You gotta be safe. I ride motorcycles. They are meant to enjoy, get some fresh air, not to go out and kill yourself, not to kill anyone else. Please, guys, don't do this. Do not run from the police on motorcycles. You know, if you feel like you have to run, don't ride. This is not worth it.
You gonna get your driver's license, your insurance? Are y'all okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You're okay? Can you tell me what happened?
A fucking light was green and I seen the bike come through the light and it was there. My light was green because the person next to me just turned on a yellow light.
Okay, well, it's all on video, so...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was fucking green, man.
You got your driver's license?
That's what I'm looking for right now.
Haney left behind 3 kids, and the heartbreaking part is that just 6 months earlier, he'd spent a month in the hospital from another motorcycle crash. One reckless choice over a tag ticket ended 3 lives in an instant. Around 11:30 p.m. on June 10, 2024, White County Lieutenant Siders attempted a routine traffic stop on a motorcycle, missing its license plate. The rider, later identified as Alex Everett, had no intention of pulling over for a chat. He pinned the throttle, kicking off a dangerous nighttime pursuit through rural Arkansas. Little did he know, he was about to meet the pavement the hard way.
And this dummy is running from them with no helmet on. Like, what be in some of these dudes' minds? And then he's on a bike that's not gonna outrun him. Like, you need to know what you're doing before you do it. And this is what I say. You can tell that some of these dudes just shouldn't be riding at all, because they're on bikes that they can't outrun the police on, first of all. So you shouldn't even be trying it. Then you ain't even got no helmet, no riding gear, no nothing on. So when you go down, it's gonna be bad. You're not thinking. Come on, don't do this at home. I'm gonna keep saying that. Don't do this at home.
If you're going to flee from the police on a motorcycle, make sure it isn't a weak piece of crap.
Damn bike great breakdown. It's sputtering. It's sputtering. Sound like he want to cut off. He need another gear. Like I said, he on the bike that's not meant for doing none of this stuff he doing. When he went around the corner, it almost lost control because the bike doesn't handle. It's not meant to handle on corners. Like, come on, man.
His bike was terrible, visibly struggling to perform as speeds violently fluctuated in oncoming traffic.
There go another one. You can tell they can't ride. You see how he keeps going over into the other lane, go around the corners and swaying back to the other lane because his car's coming. He can't stay in the right lane on the sharp turn because he's not a real rider. And that's what I say, when you are out there trying to outrun these police, people panic. That's what gets them most of the time. They panic. You know, instead of just riding a bike like you usually ride, he's out there pushing it, trying to do things he can't do, and that's what causes the accidents every time.
Trying to dodge a cruiser, the rider dipped into the grass, but as he aggressively cut back onto the pavement, he smashed right into the patrol car's wraparound bumper. The impact ripped the bike out from under him, ending the run. Alex Everett was quickly taken into custody for felony fleeing and reckless driving. Sometimes troopers meet the wrong kind of biker, the ones who know exactly how to play on an officer's ego. On July 22nd, 2024, Trooper James Booth spotted two sport bikes with no plates.
Now for you people out there that don't ride motorcycles, this dude is a little more prepared for what he's going to do. For one, has no tags. Two, he has a blacked out helmet. Three, if you look at his bike, he's got trick pegs and stuff on that bike. But when he does tricks, he can stand on the handlebars, he can stand on the seat. You know, if the bike goes down, it's got, they call frame sliders, so the bike doesn't get messed up, it just hits the slider and slides down the street. It don't actually make contact. The bike never makes contact with the pavement. So he's probably done this before.
And decided to lock onto one of them. While most riders panic the second the sirens start, this biker was eerily calm and clearly prepared for the fight. He wasn't just running, he was baiting the trooper into a high-stakes game. chase reached a breaking point as the bike screamed through the city at a staggering 140 miles per hour. Trooper Booth buried the needle, pushing his cruiser to its absolute mechanical limit just to keep the disappearing taillights in his vision. However, a heavy patrol car is simply no match for a leader bike that knows how to slice through traffic.
Like I said, it definitely looks like he's done it before. Because he did that with ease, and he didn't panic, and he just did what he had to do, get in traffic, out of traffic. He stopped at the lights, he slowed down in intersections, all that.
By the time the trooper's engine was maxed out, the bike had completely vanished, leaving the law behind in a cloud of exhaust and a bruised ego. On July 25th, 2025, a Chesterfield Township officer tried to stop a plateless motorcycle. Instead of pulling over, the rider pinned the throttle and bolted. Knowing how dangerous high-speed bike pursuits can get, the officer made the smart call to terminate the chase. The rider thought he had pulled off a clean getaway, but his luck expired just 3 miles down the road. The officer couldn't believe his eyes when he spotted the exact same bike stuck in traffic at a red light. Moving in for the surprise, he flipped the overheads back on.
Now, his mistake was, he got away, the officer turned his lights off, he gets to the light, sitting in traffic, and instead of sitting to the right of the car, he was sitting in the middle. So when the officer turned his lights back on, he had to go to the left, and he had enough room. But if he's sitting to the right, he could have just went around the car on the shoulder and been gone again. Amateurs.
Panicking, the rider tried to blast his way out, but smashed right into the car in front of him, launching himself completely over the handlebars.
Okay, right now. Build it up. Hands on your back. Put your hands on your back. Hands on your back. Put your hands on your back.
After a brief struggle on the pavement, officers cuffed the suspect and uncovered a hidden firearm. He was hauled off to the Macomb County Jail for felony fleeing, resisting arrest, and felony firearm charges.
And then the dummy gets caught with a gun. You get away, and not only do you not get rid of the gun, but you get caught in traffic, hit the back of a car, flip over the handlebars, and still have the gun. Like, when you got away from that officer, you should have made a couple quick turns, went through a neighborhood, got off that bike, stashed that gun somewhere, or you should have kept going, never stopped at that red light, just went on, eased around the car, and kept on going, made a turn, and went on home. But no, dummy gets caught.
From a band of Floridian car thieves that learned why you shouldn't run from police, and a failed high-speed pit maneuver that left this police SUV on its roof, to a grumpy old man who decided to back over a police cruiser, and a runaway semi-truck in Utah that smashed through a busy intersection. Here are 10 of the craziest moments caught on police dashcam. Tooele, Utah is a quiet little nook about 40 minutes outside of Salt Lake City. It's home to about 35,000 people who aren't used to making headline news. But all that changed on November 3rd of 2023 when a runaway semi-truck barreled through the downtown area. CCTV cameras from around the city captured the semi's destructive journey. The 26-year-old driver was behind the wheel with no brakes. All he could do was avoid as many cars as possible. But that was easier said than done. Cameras outside the Tooele County Emergency Management Center catch the truck heading north on Main Street. To avoid traffic, the driver pulls onto the sidewalk as he passes the post office. Thankfully, nobody was walking at the time. The next time we see the truck, it's blowing past Big 5 Sporting Goods. Somehow, our driver makes it another 1.2 miles before the cameras pick him up again. This time, he's not so lucky. He clips a car as he blows through the intersection of Main and 1000th North, right outside the local Starbucks. Finally, the driver veers off the road and crashes into the Tooele Motor Company's parking lot. The cab catches fire, but he makes it out okay. By some miracle, everybody made it out alive that day. While it didn't end pretty, the whole thing could have been much worse. It was August 12th of 2018. Police in Greenfield, Wisconsin are pursuing a 26-year-old man with little regard for the speed limit. Jorge Ornelas of Milwaukee was originally stopped for speeding, but he didn't plan on sticking around for a ticket. He took off with officers right behind him. At one point, police flagged him going 112 miles per hour in a 35-mile-per-hour zone. Greenfield police needed to get this maniac off the road ASAP. Unfortunately, reckless drivers like Jorge have little regard for civilian life. He weaves between traffic while one of our pursuing officers tries to avoid other cars. He hits the gas and puts some distance between himself and the officer. He hangs a sharp left turn onto another busy road, and our pursuing officer nearly loses him. For some reason, Ornelas decided to make a U-turn, allowing our squad car to catch up. He hits speeds over 70 miles per hour. He passes through an intersection with no regard for anyone else. Our officer knows this chase has to end, so he goes for everyone's favorite tactic, the pit maneuver. Unfortunately, this pit doesn't go as planned.
Yeah, 8549, do we have that?
Thankfully, his fellow officers were right behind when the SUV flipped over. They pried the door open and pulled him to safety. According to the police department, he didn't suffer any life-threatening injuries. As for Ornelas, the police abandoned the pursuit after the SUV flipped. But that doesn't mean he got away with it. They caught up with him later that day, and he was arrested for reckless driving and injuring an officer. July 9th of 2020, Little Rock, Arkansas. State Trooper Rodney Dunn has just clocked a red SUV doing 84 in a 70-mile-per-hour zone. He flips on his lights and begins chasing the vehicle. Then, something very odd happens. The driver, Janice Harper, slows down and puts her hazard lights on instead of pulling over. That's when Trooper Dunn ends the chase right then and there.
Inside wall. They rolled over. Give me
Trooper Dunn spins around to inspect the flipped car. Smoke rises from the undercarriage, and you can see where the airbags are deployed inside. Dunn calls for EMS before he pulls over to check on the driver. Then, he learns how grave a mistake he may have made.
Are you the only one in the vehicle?
Yes.
Okay.
Pregnant.
Well, ma'am, you've got to pull over when we stop. It doesn't matter, ma'am. Come on
You know
out.
what you were saying?
I've got an ambulance coming for you.
Oh my gosh. Thought it would be safer to wait until the exit.
No, ma'am. You should pull over when law enforcement stops you, okay? You were running 84 miles an hour. I'm trying to get you to stop. And then when I pulled up alongside of you, you saw the state trooper. You looked over at me.
Because I could barely see.
Let's go over here.
Harper claims she wanted to pull over, but didn't think it was safe. She knew an exit was coming up, where she and Dunn would have more room. Trooper Dunn argues that she should have pulled over anyway. Thankfully, Harper only sustained minor injuries, and her baby was okay. But her fight wasn't over. She turned around and sued Trooper Dunn, claiming he didn't have to ram her car. According to Harper, she was going to take the Vandenberg Boulevard exit, which was only a mile away. Ultimately, the Arkansas State Police settled the lawsuit with Harper, saying Trooper Dunn executed a negligently performed pit maneuver which flipped the woman's vehicle and placed her life and the life of her unborn child at risk. According to reports, Harper's lawsuit led to changes in pit maneuver policies used by the Arkansas State Police. It was May 23rd of 2008. 70-year-old Henry Raskin is having a bad morning. He had been pulled over for speeding after an officer in Buffalo Grove, Illinois, clocked him going 58 in a 35. Henry was a little upset. He didn't understand why the officer was giving him a ticket, even though he was clearly speeding. Meanwhile, the officer tried to remain as calm as possible. He told Henry if he had a problem, he could take it up with the chief. Well, Henry decided to take it up with the hood of the officer's car.
Take us for the first seat, okay? Conversation over. Okay, have a better day. Be careful pulling out, okay?
Hey, Herb. Come on now. I told you that this morning. Don't be late for no more meals. Did I say that to you this morning? So why is y'all late?
For some reason, Henry steps on the gas while his Toyota Camry sits on the police cruiser. Maybe he was trying to get off and run away from this embarrassing situation. According to reports, the back left tire of Henry's car broke through the windshield and came 6 inches from the officer's face. At one point, you can hear the officer say, "Turn the car off," to which Henry responds, "The whole thing? No, sir. Just the part that's in my windshield, thanks." While nobody got hurt, Henry did get reckless driving added to his speeding ticket. May 19th of 2021, 5 Florida juveniles and a stolen black SUV were caught trying to steal another car. Fort Lauderdale police responded to a call around 7 a.m. The kids had tried breaking into a garage, but the owner caught them. They fled, but not before the owner got a good look. An APB went out on a black Infiniti QX60. Police spotted the car and tried to pull them over, but the driver refused. Instead, he decided to play a little Grand Theft Auto, leading police on a high-speed chase down Interstate 95.
I know that, because I get up too early to be in here to feed y'all. Y'all be coming in late, so why shouldn't I be upset? And y'all in the building. I can't go back to sleep. So if I go back to sleep, y'all won't eat, right? So how y'all think that makes me feel?
Chaos ensues as a suspect rolls out the back window. Police have no way of knowing if these kids are armed either. Everyone approaches with their weapons drawn. The first suspect is handcuffed and hauled away. Another came out the back window, but we never see them on camera. At one point, an officer says all suspects are out of the vehicle. We can assume they're handcuffed on the other side of the car. Thankfully, nobody was seriously injured during the crash. All 5 youths were brought to Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. All 5 were charged, but because they're minors, their names and the nature of those charges have not been released. September 4th of 2023 began as an average night in Pulaski County, Arkansas. Trooper Duncan was out on patrol when a call came in about a speeding vehicle. But this wasn't any old car. It was a Dodge Challenger RT Scat Pack. It's unclear if the speedster was driving the 2023 model, but if he was, his 485 horsepower engine would easily leave police in the dust. Trooper Duncan spotted the Scat Pack zipping past an 18-wheeler. He flipped on his lights and climbed to 130 miles per hour. But even then, he couldn't catch up with the Challenger. Luckily, an officer up ahead still had the car in his sights.
No problem. That's what makes me
Trooper Duncan climbs past 150 miles per hour, and he's still no match for the Scat Pack's V8 engine. Meanwhile, the driver is hitting speeds well over 170 and 180. It's unclear how the police kept following him even without a visual. Perhaps they relied on tips from passing truck drivers, or they just got lucky. Eventually, Trooper Duncan catches up with the Challenger stuck between two trucks while taking exit 40 east to Memphis. The chase was back on, but it didn't last very long. The Challenger peeled away and Trooper Duncan lost him again. He turns off his lights and sirens, deciding the pursuit is too dangerous to continue. While heading toward the next exit, he spots the Challenger again. This time, it's going the speed limit and attempting to blend in with traffic.
Hey,
Yes, ma'am.
Hands! Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Lay down on the ground! 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 We'll transport your back.
The driver was just a young kid on a cross-country joyride. He'd allegedly evaded police in other states as he made his way east. But, thanks to Trooper Duncan's determination, this daredevil was taken off the road. February 23rd of 2016, an agent with the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics was parked alongside a construction zone of I-40. His radar gun clocked a 2012 gray Ford Focus going 61 miles per hour in a 55 mile per hour zone. Our agent may have let him go, but this was an active construction zone. Speeding could easily get someone hurt, or worse. The officer tails the car for about 90 seconds before initiating a stop. The driver, Andrew Sawyers, pulls over, and all seems normal at first. But when the agent approaches the car, he notices something he doesn't like in the passenger's seat: empty beer bottles. Our officer tells Andrew that he's only going to issue a warning for speeding, but he'd like Andrew to wait by the cruiser while he runs his information. As Andrew gets out, our eagle-eyed officer sees him slip something under his jacket.
Just go ahead and have a seat for me right back on the passenger side, please. Hey, sir, what did you put in your pocket before when you were getting out? Not that pocket in here. You don't have any weapons or anything on you, do you? No guns, knives? No, don't. Don't you reach?
Andrew pulls a weapon from his waistband, but drops it immediately. He pleads over and over, "I just want to go home, I just want to go home." Finally, he decides running is his only option. Somehow, he withstands a taser, hops in his car, and speeds away, but not before accidentally popping his trunk.
Go, go, go! You got the radio, go!
Officers tail Andrew for about 20 seconds before attempting a precision immobilization technique, also known as a pit maneuver. It was well executed. Andrew just got lucky.
We're at 80 miles an hour. Stop here, 108. Headquarters are back at it. Chili's bound.
Clear. I need a vehicle to return on
Andrew climbs to over 100 miles per hour as he flees across Canadian County. When our officer finally catches up to him, he displays how badly he just wants to go home.
Did you go in the gun or did you take it?
Keep missing. Last couple of vehicles on the shoulder.
Traffic gets a little tight up ahead. Andrew's already shown he's willing to take this chase off-road. Let's see if he does it again.
They're gonna get that out my bike. All the traffic's gonna block up it on the shoulder, guys.
Yeah.
Right. vehicle. They missed me, but they tried to ram it.
Miraculously, he makes it through without hitting any civilians or police. He keeps running for about 8 minutes before he makes his final grave mistake. While trying to use an off-ramp to evade the cops, Andrew loses control and skids into the trees.
Take exit to 120, 132, Oklahoma City. Okay, that is branch out, just branch out.
Apparently, Andrew wasn't alone. He had a dog in the back seat that escaped after the crash. It ran off into the woods, and police weren't able to catch it. As for Andrew, they caught him red-handed. It turns out the pistol he dropped when the chase began wasn't the only weapon he was carrying. Police found 2 more weapons and a few knives hidden in the car. If we had to guess, that's why Andrew decided to run. Thankfully, nobody was hurt during this high-speed chase. Officers pursued him for 25 miles as he raced down I-40. He nearly made it across the county before finally crashing. Andrew just wanted to go home that day. Instead, he went directly to jail. Now, not all police chases end with someone in handcuffs. In fact, not all police chases have to do with human beings. It was Mother's Day of 2016. Rookie officer Robert Moore got a call he never expected. There was a baby cow running loose in the street. As funny as it sounded, Officer Moore knew it was an issue. The little calf could easily hurt itself or damage someone's car. Officer Moore arrived as the cow careened into a Jeep before sprinting up the road.
I just had one run into my truck. Okay, where you trying to go? Where you at, buddy?
The trick is trying to stop the calf without hurting it. They'll never stop it with their hands. All they can do is try to corral it with their squad cars. As you're about to see, that's easier said than done. This cow was a slippery little fella.
There's a main street. See if we can cut it back. There you go, just like that.
The calf escapes, and the chase is back on. They try using a wall as a natural barrier, but the calf slips away once more. The chase lasted roughly 15 minutes and covered a little over half a mile. The little guy eventually tuckered out and wandered into the waiting arms of its owner. Thankfully, no baby cows were harmed in the making of this video. The calf did cause some damage while rampaging through town. It dented a few cars, and one of the police cruisers lost its tail light. If you're driving around Arkansas and see a tinted Corvette with vanity law enforcement tags, let the driver know the police would like a word with him. On August 23rd of 2022, an Arkansas officer observed a silver Corvette with illegally tinted windows. He thought the driver would comply, but this hotshot had other ideas.
You stir for the night tip. Yeah.
Our officer's squad car was no match for that high-powered engine. The driver vanished as soon as they took that right turn. He could have easily gone down any one of those side streets. Our officer patrols the streets for about 3 minutes, trying to catch a glimpse of the suspect's vehicle. Another officer joins the pursuit, and both hit a stroke of good luck. The Corvette comes racing around a corner and screams down a residential street. To his credit, whoever's behind the wheel is one heck of a driver. The chase is back on. He was gone again as quickly as he reappeared. Once it started raining, officers decided that it wasn't worth pursuing the suspect's vehicle. What's odd about this whole story is the Corvette's license plate. The LO you see on the side is a special plate issued to members of law enforcement. That said, the driver doesn't have to be a cop to have that plate. According to a state website, any motor vehicle owner may apply for the Arkansas Municipal Police Association license plate. This driver either supports the police or just likes rubbing his driving skills in their face. June 27th of 2023, Arkansas Police Sergeant Jeff Preston is in pursuit of a speeding vehicle heading southbound on I-530. They blow past another officer parked on the side of the road, who immediately joins the pursuit. They're chasing 21-year-old Casey Register, who was behind the wheel of a Lincoln MKZ hybrid. Someone called 911 to report the car speeding near Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Casey cared little for human lives as he weaved between cars and topped over 100 miles per hour.
13 calls up.
10-4 speed at 104. Approach 42 south.
Back up.
That's Sergeant Preston in the SUV up ahead. We're in Trooper Terrell Pratt's squad car as he tries to keep up with Casey. He watches as Preston attempts a pit maneuver, but nearly runs himself off the road. This chase still had a few more miles to go.
Let me around, Sarge.
Sergeant Preston wants to end this chase ASAP. That's when he sees an opportunity for another pit and takes it.
Yeah, just north of 53, go down to the roadway.
Casey was arrested and booked for reckless driving and running from the police. It's unclear why he was running in the first place. If he had just pulled over, he would have spent the night in his bed instead of a jail cell. If you enjoyed this video and want to see another just like it, be sure to click the link on screen now. With that, thanks for watching and be sure to tune in.